Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. So what are we doing today? Today I'm going to be talking through all of the books that I have bought so far in April. I have quite a few classics, I have a couple of backlist books, one newish release, and I'm just excited to dig in with you all. Now, as always, with my hauls, I'm always very curious as to your relationship with these books and authors. Often you all give me the best tips as to where to start with an author or if a book is good or bad, and you all are like so good at getting me excited about the reads that I've recently picked up, and I can always feel your excitement in the comments below. So I'm excited for you to, leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. And yeah, let's just get right in. Oh, but before we get in, if you are new to my channel, then hi, I'm Shelly, and I absolutely adore books and reading, so much so that I have a whole channel dedicated to the topic. I love all the conversations about reading and on reading, and I love books. I love them. It's quite possibly one of my favorite materialistic things ever. Okay, so let's now actually get into the meat of this video. Okay, I'm actually going to start off with a book that I've showed before, and it is Bede by George Eliot. I showed this, I think, in my last haul, and as I mentioned in that video, I haven't read any George Eliot, and I casually asked where to start with George Eliot, and my Greek chorus, all of you who chimed in the comments below, mentioned that Bede might be kind of a shaky place to start with Miss George Eliot, and that maybe starting somewhere else I would be able to build like a better relationship with the author. And there was a huge suggestion, an outpouring that maybe Middlemarch is a good place to start. But as I've mentioned before, and I'll mention it again now, is that I've read a ton of mammoths, and Middlemarch, so far this year, I've read 3 mammoths so far, and I'm going to start a 4th very soon. And so, if you don't know, Middlemarch is like 800 or plus page book. It's a mammoth book. It's a chunkster. It's a doorstop. And so I was like, maybe a different place to start with George Eliot. And so I decided to go with a suggestion that was on the opposite end of the page spectrum. And I picked up Silas Marner by George Eliot, which I'm excited to get to. I don't know hardly anything about Silas Marner. Oh, one moment. Sorry, I'm getting over a cough-cold combo deal. So as I was saying, I don't know too much about Silas Marner, but I'm excited to go in blind, not knowing anything, and discover the story and George Eliot's writing for myself. The next couple books I picked up also have to do with my Greek chorus of comments down below in one of my haul videos. So I had picked up not North and South, I had picked up Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. Elizabeth Gaskell was a Victorian writer, and when I hauled that, there was a lot of gentle comments saying maybe Wives and Daughters isn't the best place to start with Elizabeth Gaskell. It's also a massive brick. So I was like, okay, well, I'm open to other suggestions. And so of course I'm, combing through my comment section, I'm combing through emails and trying to look for a good place to start with Elizabeth Gaskell. And I got a couple of suggestions that I picked up. So the first was North and South. Like all of Gaskell's works, I actually don't know the plot lines of her stories. I just know that she talks or she writes about women's roles in society and class issues, wealth issues, and the way that society, functions during the Victorian time period. So I know that that's like what her writing is hinged on, right? And so I decided to pick up North and South. Is that right? North and South. I'm getting all my titles mixed up. I also picked up Crandford by Elizabeth Gaskell. This is a Oxford World Classics edition. They actually didn't have this in the Penguin. I couldn't find it in the Penguin Classics edition. Not that it matters, but I'm glad to have it. And I'm glad that both of these reads are actually quite a bit smaller, shorter in length than Wives and Daughters, because, yeah, as I mentioned, I'm sort of trying to stay away slightly, at least for the moment, from big, mammoth, chunky, doorstoppy books. This next book I actually bought a while ago, and I didn't show you all. I don't really know why. And it's Wallace Stegner's The Angle of Repose. What I know about this book is that this is a Pulitzer Prize winning novel set in Grass Valley, California. I am a native Californian, and I'm always interested in books that are set in my general region. And Grass Valley, California is actually not too far away from where I grew up, and I actually have been there, so that piqued my interest. And I've had a long-standing interest in Pulitzer Prize winning novels, and so seeing that this is a Pulitzer Prize winning novel set in California, sort of in my general region, I decided to pick it up. I think I bought it at a used bookstore. The next book, I don't think I told my friend who also recently bought this book that I bought it, because I wanted it to be kind of a surprise. And so I'm going to show it now. I'm going to reveal it, and I already have a buddy read set up for it. So that would be Passing by Nella Larson. So I'm going to actually show you. This is the Netflix edition, the movie cover. I wasn't thrilled about this when I bought it. I actually thought I was going to get the Penguin Classics edition, the same edition that has this like white band that runs all the way around the spine, which I really quite like, and that looks so classy on the bookshelves. I know I shouldn't be thinking about aesthetics, but you know, that is just who I am. I do think about aesthetics. So I bought this thinking that I would get that white spine around, and it showed up with the Netflix covered version, the movie cover, you know, the visual, the television cover, right? And so, yeah, so I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the book. It just wasn't what I expected, and I was surprised to see it. I have actually very little interest in watching this show, but I've heard so many wonderful things about this book, including a review, which I will link down below, from Brittney from Literarily Smitten. She did a whole review on this. This is one of her favorite books of all time, and she constantly rereads it. And I was like, well, if Brittney likes it and Brittney and I have overlapping tastes, then I definitely want to read this. This is set around a woman who is Black, but she passes as white. And the way that that shapes her life. And I think it's, there's a juxtaposition between her and another woman who is lighter skinned but cannot pass as white, if I'm not mistaken, but I might be wrong. Give me a moment. Oh, I was right, y'all. I was right. Okay, so yeah, the juxtaposition between a light-skinned Black girl that can pass as white, and then a light-skinned Black girl who doesn't or can't. So interesting, interesting concept. I'm sorry if I'm talking about this incorrectly. I haven't read it, but I am very excited to get to this. All right, with classics out of the way, I'm going to be talking about new-ish release books that have released in the last couple of years. One of which I found in a free little library just down the road from my house. It is a new free little library to me. I love free little libraries. I both contribute and take from the free little library community. I think it's amazing. And so I found Jacqueline Woodson's Red at the Bone, and it is in the most beautiful, gorgeous, stunning condition. It is this small little hardback copy with this gorgeous cover, and I've heard only wonderful things about this book, so I cannot wait to get it. I have read Jacqueline Woodson's picture books, I believe. I think I've read Jacqueline Woodson's picture books. I didn't look up the author, but I'm 99% sure that she's done picture books, and I have read them. And so this will be my first non-picture book from this author. Okay, and then finally, my last book has to do with the Women's Prize for Fiction, but also it's a book that I want to read, and I keep on getting, I keep on hearing mixed reviews about it, but the mixed reviews are like on the positive end. Like, it was a good book, but some of the few things didn't work out for me. And so I really wanted to dive into this book, and it is Ruth Ozeki's The Book of Foreman, Emptiness. This also was longlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction for 2022, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to read it. Now, will I get to this before the shortlist is announced? I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest, I'm really not sure. But I do hope it gets shortlisted. I'm only hoping because I own the book, and I would hope that it's shortlisted so when I read it, I can say, this was shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. But otherwise, I have no, like, no skin in the game, no stake in that contest. Yeah, mostly I just, you know, like, I want to see it move on, so, you know, so that I have a shortlisted book. But otherwise, I'm not really invested. But I can't wait to get to this. I'm excited. I heard it is about grief and mental illness, and it is told from the perspective of a protagonist of a little boy who's 10 years old, and his things are talking to him. I'm not really sure how that will play out or what it looks like on the page, but I've heard that that's what this book is about. I've not read any of Ozeki's work, but she's been on my mind for a long time. So yeah. Okay, you all, so that was my haul. I am just very thrilled to have these books in my life and in my collection. I cannot wait to get to these soon, and we all know that soon is in the next 5 years here on BookTube. That's what soon means, so if I can get to these books within the next 5 years, that would be a true feat for me. And as always, I love to hear from you, and whether, you know, you've read these books or you've thought about reading them, your relationship with these authors, I just would love to know. And that's it for me. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.